Good morning, everybody, and happy Labor Day. It is Monday, the 4th. Can you guys believe we are already like this far into September? I mean, I know it's only the 4th, but still, true story, I was trying to make space in my refrigerator the other day. So I pulled out a few things and was checking the expiration date. And I was like, oh my gosh, like where did the summer go? Like I have stuff in there that expired. So now my refrigerator is, well, it's not empty, but we got rid of a lot of stuff. There comes Eric. Eric. So Eric has an expression that, we've been married for a long, long, long time. So I know an expression that he makes when he's getting ready to give a snide comment or like a little snarky something or other, or maybe it's just completely wholesome and loving. But he walked over and I thought he was getting ready to say something.
It was wholesome and loving.
It was wholesome and loving. Okay, thanks, dear.
But never mind.
Anyway, well, good morning, everybody. I hope I got a chance to say good morning to you. Carly, all right, hold on. So Carly, oh my gosh. To which way? This way? Here we are. I found it. I tell you what, this thing. So Carly, the whole family is watching from Ohio en route to Chicago. I just saw your Facebook thing. Actually, I literally did just a minute ago. I was doing a quick scroll. So Carly, I am like so sad that they are leaving. It's like, have you ever met people that you're like, oh my gosh, like we would be really good friends. Like we could, we're older than they are, but they've got cute kids that I can hold. And I can pretend like they're my grandkids or something. But like I met them because we're selling their home and like now they're like moving. So it was a very short romance, Carly. I adore you guys so much. And I am so grateful that you let me be a part of I always say it and I mean it, be a part of your journey. Even this small little tiny capacity. So thank you for that. I'm a little sad. Buyers are doing their final walkthrough today and closing coming up. And here's the best part though. Your kids are going to be close to their grandparents now. And that's going to be a huge, wonderful thing. So, Carly, we'd be total besties. Yes, we would. We totally did. But you have to snuggle the babies for me. And as always, remember, like text me and send me pictures and stuff all the time because I'm way too invested at this point. So, anyway, so it is Labor Day. So do you have the day off? We don't. There's a lot of people that do, and I applaud those people that are able. I'm going to take this ring off because I think I got soap around it. Yeah. I washed my hands a minute ago. If you ever get soap caught in your ring. Anyway, so we are working. We don't have a lot of appointments, although we do have a couple of showings today, but I have a lot of video stuff and emails and like behind the scenes kind of work to do today. But, I know a lot of the businesses have off, the builders, in most cases have off, title companies, lenders, those types of things, typically closed. So, it kind of slows down a little bit of the real estate, what we can actually get accomplished if we need other people to help. But if it's just us, we're going to do our stuff. So, anyway, so we have a lot to talk about today. And Eric is standing by across the kitchen. So and by the way, just as a reminder, if anybody has questions, go ahead and put them in there. We've got lots to talk about. But oh my gosh, this thing, I swear, what you don't see is that I can never, there it is. It's the little cursor thingy. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get to what's brewing because there's lots and lots and lots for me to talk about, as always. Okay, so we are going to do our hurricane recap for the hurricane that kind of came through a little bit. Some places got some pretty intense stuff. We did not. We'll talk about that. Landscaping and termite bonds. So those are...
I had to use my graphic again.
Do you know
that one was an accident?
Do you know how exhausting it is? Okay, so all right, so yes, we'll go right on into the first topic then. Hurricane. So we obviously right here where we are in Central Florida in Orlando. I have to take my glasses off because I need to clean them. We actually did not get. We barely got intense rain and winds where we are. Now that's not to negate or diminish those who did have a severe impact. But, you know, as always, it is just so lovely to see so many people like reaching out, they're emailing or they're texting, asking if we're doing okay. And, but yeah, we were like completely fine. Like it was, for the most part, we could tell by the path that it was expected to go, that we really weren't going to have anything, really intense where we are. And we were very grateful for that. So we're happy that it kind of, you know, you can see by the path that, you know, that's one of the beauties of living here in Central Florida is that you really don't take the brunt of anything. Doesn't mean that it can't be intense. We've had some intense ones here before for sure, but this one just kind of missed us. We just basically what we got out of it, and I'm going to be completely honest, we got permission to just stay at home for a day. And it's kind of like the snow days that kids have at school. It's like, it's just Mother Nature saying, Amy and Eric, you know what? You can kind of hang out at the house today.
That is exactly right. And that's exactly, I was about to just come on and say,
yeah.
So this lady, she gets so disappointed if the storm's not like, I mean, we don't want a bad storm.
No.
But
no.
like, she gets very excited for like, okay, and then I can't do anything, so therefore I won't have to do anything, and I can just sit in my house and just, because it's exactly like a snow day. So
yeah,
I know you were disappointed. But.
Well, I mean, yes, just like Eric said, I was, you know, yeah, a little bit. First of all, I like storms. I don't like the intense ones, obviously, but you know, Eric and I, gosh, when we first got married, we had this beautiful home in Virginia with this big kind of a wraparound front porch, and sometimes we just sit out there and watch the storms. And even now, I mean, we like just like the rainstorms. Not as fun when, you know, trees are falling all around you. That's not lovely. But yeah, it was kind of nice just to have a higher entity that we can't control say, you know what, everybody's gonna like slow your roll today a little bit. Everybody's gonna back up. Everybody's gonna sit down. You're gonna stay at home. You're gonna be safe. And that's what we did. So it was nice to kind of have a little bit of time off.
You have some questions that are hurricane related, so I figured
okay,
while we're on it.
Let me do that. Okay. Let me, I have to find them. Hold on. At the bottom. Okay. DC. What's the average homeowner's insurance cost for a typical 4-2 in Central Florida? That's
impossible to say.
Yeah, I can't really tell you. Do you know what ours is? I mean, again, it's.
Well, so we're going to share in a little bit, and Elizabeth has shared in the chat. She closed on her house. Hers was actually not bad at all. So it's like a little over $2,000 a year, which some people's eyes just popped out like, that's not bad. For Florida, that's not bad. Mm-hmm. The truth is it changes because there's a lot of companies that are leaving Florida. So it really, a lot of it depends on when you're getting it, where you are. Things are lower here in Central Florida, but we have a problem in Central Florida. So it's really impossible to like give you a number on an average home. But her home, I would say, is an average front load garage home. Here it's a higher price than most places, but that was $2,000 a year ish.
Yeah, and one of the things that we do, because if it's new construction, then usually the lender starts to suggest an insurance company for you. You can certainly shop rates, and we suggest that people do for sure. And there is an insurance broker that we usually refer our clients to let them kind of do that footwork for you, legwork, to try to find you some options. This time we used former client of mine, Jeremy Jones with State Farm. I didn't really know. So some of the larger companies don't insure homes here in Florida. So some of the big ones that pop into your brain don't necessarily have insurance coverage here, but State Farm did. And anyway, so hopefully that helped a little bit. Another question. Julia, do Floridians use the Waffle House rule on determining how bad a hurricane is going to be? If the Waffle House is shutting down, it's going to be bad. If not, it's a bad start. Here's the thing. I think we used the Disney one. Because Disney was open.
Disney was open, but there were some, so Amy likes to get her Diet Coke.
Oh, yes.
And so McDonald's was closed, but I think they used the rule of, hey, let's shut down because we can.
Yeah.
But we didn't know. You just don't know if things are going to take a hard right turn. So a lot of things shut down.
And schools shut down. Our schools canceled for the day. So, and that really is it. You know, with hurricanes, they can change on a dime. And no matter how many paths, you know, the experts think it could potentially take, it's not anything that humans can control. So you just have to be prepared. In fact, I think it was Ian that all of a sudden was in the Gulf Coast and then it kind of turned and was heading straight for Orlando, and it wasn't originally supposed to be a thing. So that's why you have to be prepared. So, and we were prepared, by the way. You know, when I say that we weren't like freaking out about it, it's because it really, you know, was pretty obvious as it went a little bit more west, I guess, that it north and west. It kind of went away from the path where it would likely take us. But anyway, so I mean, we do our due diligence. In fact, my friends, part of what I did yesterday, we'll talk about Labor Day, what we did over the weekend, but I cleaned out our little safe room is also the dog room. And there's this long hallway, and I have like the dog posters up and some wallpaper and a big board and everything. And it turns around the corner. And in the corner, there's a lot of room for storage. And I did not realize how junked up it had gotten over the course of this past year. What?
Something you pulled out of the closet.
Oh, okay. Well, so I pulled out some of our village pieces.
I'm just saying, it's like, it feels like Christmas.
Oh yeah, no. There's a whole big piece of furniture back there. There's just a lot of stuff back there. In fact, I found some more of the Lux wall that we had ordered some more boxes of that to finish a project upstairs in the media room. So I was like, oh, I forgot I had these. So anyway, but we did that. And the reason I did that was because that also serves as our room in case we do have to take shelter. When we built the house, we added an extra outlet in there and an extra light in that room so that we would have the ability to have extra light as well as a way to charge things. But I put like the extra not batteries, what are they called? Flashlights. Whoa. The flashlights in there. And just, you know, just kind of got it organized. So even though I wasn't necessarily ready for this one, I'll be ready for the next one. Anyway, so there's that. And then Rob says, when will you be going remote again? That last time at the coffee shop was great. Yeah, we will do that. I mean, we honestly, it's been so crazy, fast and furious with just not having enough time in the day to get some of the things done that we need to do, you know, video content wise. Son going off to college was part of it. You know, so we're going to definitely do an on location one again. Eric, you have a plan?
Yeah, I'm not at liberty to discuss it right now, but I have a plan.
Okay, he has a plan.
I also have something else.
Yes, what do you have?
This is not a good one. This is a sad one. So I didn't put it on the thing today, but breaking news: the dogs are barking. I'll get them in a second. But Jimmy Buffett died.
I know.
And like I meant to do a whole thing, and like this morning we're about to do the show, and I'm like, so it's a big deal everywhere. A big deal in Florida too. So let me go deal with the dogs. You talk about Jimmy Buffett.
I will. So you know, we have well, first of all, you know, Jimmy Buffett and the music is just, it's a legend, right? I mean, it's iconic. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows a song or two. Even if he is not your vibe, there's no way you cannot know some of the songs. But for us specifically, obviously here in Florida, kind of beach town vibes, Bahamas, you know, whenever Eric and I would go, the 2 times we went, when we went to the Bahamas for our like a vacation getaway, you know, Eric obviously loves music, which is why it's in his brain all the time. You know, we put together our vacation beachy playlist, and I mean, Jimmy Buffett was all over it. So it's just, it's really, really, really sad. And I will say, I listened to Margaritaville on was it Sirius XM, whatever it is, the radio thing in the car. I have it on Margaritaville the majority of the time. So it was definitely really sad. So obviously we're all a little sad about that, but true story. I'll tell about the cheeseburger in paradise.
Yeah.
You didn't put a picture up, did you?
No. And I was actually going to get video. I'll get video for next week. So cheeseburger in paradise is why we're married.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
I can't find the thing again.
It's fine.
No, I can't. I can't find my cursor. Oh my God. I'm sliding to the left. Slide to the left. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Well, while he tries to find it, so when we, in fact, our friend Caddy Feast, thank you, dear. Our friend Caddy, she was, a technician in some of the shows. Obviously, a lot of you know Eric and I met performing at King's Dominion in Virginia, just theme park there. I was a dancer. He was a singer. We were not on the same shows. He was always in an outdoor show. I was always in the indoor theater they called the main stage. It was more like the Broadway review style. So we had singers and dancers and the whole fly floor and technicians and sound crew and lighting crew and whole kit and caboodle. Anyway, so and Eric at that particular time was in a country show, and we would walk past. So when it was our lunch break, our long break, there was a place for us to eat called the canteen. That was basically the employees' cafeteria. And so after we did our first How It Really Shows, of the day, we would walk the path to the canteen. And to get to the canteen, you'd have to walk on a road that was directly beside the country show theater stage, which is where Eric was. And the timing of his show and our show meant that every time we walked past, he was singing Cheeseburger in Paradise as Clovis, which was his character in that particular show. And it was funny because I saw Caddy's post about Jimmy Buffett. She said something about how, she got so tired of hearing that song. And I'm like, oh, I was just totally smitten with the guy that was singing it. So I couldn't wait to walk by and see him and hear him. So even though, Cheeseburger in Paradise, that's kind of a special song to us. So I know
I didn't know that song when I got that job.
Really?
And it was a goofy, like my character was goofy. We'll show you a video next week. I apologize for not having it. But I didn't know that song at all. And so I would sing that song and people went nuts for the song. And I thought it was me. No, it's like they love the song because it's a great song. And the whole Jimmy Buffett vibe, if you know, you know. But I didn't know because I was a 19-year-old kid. I didn't know anything about Jimmy Buffett. And so I was all full of myself until I was like, oh, yeah, that's why people love it because of him, not me. So, I mean, seriously, rest in peace. That dude, he did it right.
Yeah, he did. All right. Okay, so I did forget to tell you my coffee mug for the day. So I think it's official. I can do my fall mug. So fall in love. I've got my little mug. It has it on both sides, thankfully. But yes, I do have my standby Diet Coke because I'm about onto the cold caffeine. So anyway, so that was that was the hurricane topic. Let's go to the second one, which is landscaping. So we had, again, over the weekend, we had, work to do, but not so many clients in town. Keep in mind that while it's a holiday weekend, if you haven't already started school, you're getting ready to start school. It's not really a weekend where people typically travel necessarily. Well, I guess people do, but for us, we just didn't have any clients that were in town over the weekend. So we had a lot of, again, paperwork, computer, phone calls, all that kind of stuff to deal with. But so we actually were able to, I did some yard work yesterday. Eric did some yard work yesterday, and I found a product. And I'm sharing it with you. I'm not sponsored. I'm not getting any kickback for it, but I found this product and I think I found it just scrolling, like it was a TikTok or an Instagram or something. And it's called Buta Bricks and Buta Blocks. And it is a faux plastic type composite, really thick plastic composite type product that makes your flower bed edging looks like it is the stones or the bricks or the blocks. And thank you, dear. And they come in taller pieces, which is what we ordered, and they also have the taller ones or the smaller ones. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I put these out yesterday. I did them all along the one side of our home, and I was like, I'll put them there. I'll see if I like them and if they're worth it. And if they're worth it, I'll get more, and I'll do the front and some other areas, because that's one of my pet peeves is edged flower beds, because our grass grows here so stinking fast. It is just ridiculous. It is near impossible to keep the flower beds weeded and edged properly. And so I was like, well, if I can just get a product like that, it'll be helpful. You can weed whack around it. It'll just help it look crisp, right? So anyway, so I ordered these online for that one side of the home, and they are fabulous. They come in these different lengths. Like you can buy the 4 set for the bigger ones. It covers like 16 feet, and the smaller ones are like 24 feet. Point is, if you're getting ready to do some landscaping projects in your home, they're bendable. So if you need to make a circle around a tree, or if you need like a curvature to follow kind of a curved edge of a flower bed, you can make them straight, curved. They've got these spikes that go down. They're amazing. And the reason I'm telling you is because they're 20% off. And that was really exciting because I ordered more yesterday, and it was almost like by the time I ordered 4, I got the 5th one free almost because of the discount, which was huge because I didn't get the discount the first time. So if you're interested, look online, BEUTA, Buta Bricks. And they really are, they're really good. So I love good products like that kind of, I mean, I was just carrying these around. They're super lightweight, and they just slide into one another. Then you've got these little metal spikes to anchor them in. Anyway, so we did some landscaping. All of that to tell you, as Eric's sitting there going, tell him. So we're going to be doing a landscaping video. We've had a lot of questions about the types of trees, types of landscaping, the landscaping that we did within the pool area, the new landscaping that we added off to the side, which was probably the one spot in our yard where we could see another house, like across the street back behind us. And so we're kind of like the pool video that we did where we take you through it. We're kind of giving you a more, comprehensive landscaping video. And so obviously the Buta blocks will be on those as well. So anyway, so that was that. Did you want to add anything to that, dear?
No.
Oh, wait. I have to open up my Diet Coke. Did you say no? Gracious. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the third topic then. The third topic is termite bonds. Okay. So this is really important. He does that and it sidetracks me every time. So termite.
I literally didn't do anything.
You just did oh bother. You hit the oh bother button.
I didn't actually. That was like delayed. That was weird. I hit that like a minute and a half ago. I'm not even kidding. Wait, let's try it.
Oh bother.
Yeah, but I literally didn't hit it until I hit it a minute ago. I don't know what happened.
No. Anyway, okay. So termite bonds. So termites are a very big deal here. In the sense that you have to know that they exist, right? We build to our climate, and we have to understand the nature of our climate. And the subterranean termites are, they are a thing here. So I wanted to talk briefly about termites and the termite prevention and what a termite bond is and whether you should or should not continue yours. So first of all, homes here are built with a termite prevention. Wood has already been pre-treated. If it's a new construction home, so you'll see, all right, well, let's just talk about the wood in general. So the wood is going to be pre-treated in most cases with prior to it even going up. Then when you have your home and it's at the framing stage, if you see that greenish like paint type around the bottom 3 feet or so, 4 feet or so, that is boracare. That is a liquid treatment that the company comes and sprays on it. The reason it's green, that is a dye that they put in the liquid so that you can visibly see that it has been treated. Otherwise, it would just be clear and you'd never know. So the tint of green is so you can visibly see it. And that kind of shows you, and they stamp the little certificate up on the walls inside to let you know that they've done the treatment. So boracare is done on the actual wood interior. There's also exterior termite baits that are planted in the ground around the perimeter of your home, and inside those has the little bait type mechanism, and then the pesticide company will come and they pull those out and they look to see if there's been any activity on it. So termites are a big deal as far as making sure you understand what they are. Now, my son-in-law just the other day, hi Hong, he said, hey Mimi, because they call me Mimi, he says, hey Mimi, do we need to do this termite bond? And I said, absolutely 100% yes. Because when you have a new construction home, you close on the home. That company that did the initial termite treatment, whether it was the exterior perimeter baits or whether it was the boracare, when they do that from the date of closing on your home and 1 year thereafter, you have a termite bond, which means you're protected with that company that did the initial treatment. Now, at the end of that 1 year, you're going to get a reminder from them saying, do you want to renew your termite bond? Because then they want to come back out. They want to inspect the home again, make sure that everything still looks good. If everything looks good, they will renew that bond. You pay for it, but they renew the bond again then for another year. And basically it's an annual kind of a check to make sure that there's not any activity. It is a really important thing. Like, this is ours. We just did ours as well for year 2. Massey is the company that does all of our stuff. By the way, you have to use the same company too. Like, if you use Massey and then they do the initial, that's who has the bond for your property. You can't switch to another, Orkin and have them renew that same bond. They're going to have to come out and they're going to want to do their own baiting or whatever services, and then they will put a bond on that, right? Does that make sense? They're not going to warranty somebody else's work. Not that this is a warranty, it's a bond. Anyway, so this was ours that we had done. Ours was $190 for the year. And they came back out, they checked, everything was good. And then, toward the end of the year again, they come back out and check. So point is, it is important to make sure, especially here in Florida, when you are buying or selling a home, that you maintain that termite bond, because you want to make sure you give that peace of mind, not only to yourself, but to anyone that could be purchasing your home, that you have been doing your basically required homeowner maintenance and your due diligence as a homeowner to make sure that your home is protected. It can be a very, very costly thing. Now, I will tell you, this is important to me because, guys, I screwed it up the first time. When we first moved here from Virginia, there was a lot I didn't know. There was a lot that's swimming around in your brain. I didn't have a lot of guidance. I wasn't sure if it was important. And toward the end of the year, we started to get all of these postcards basically wanting to sell you stuff. And so you just start tossing them, right? Because you're like, just leave me alone. Well, unfortunately, I threw away an important one. And it was the company that said, hey, you're coming up on your 1 year. We need to come out and do a reinspection for the termite so we can renew your bond. Well, I threw it away. I didn't pay any attention to it. And then guess what happened? It expired. Then when I realized what I had done, I was like, oh crap. So I called the same company that did the initial boracare and termite treatment prevention on the home, but they would not renew the bond because it expired. So then we had to pay a lot of money to have them do the exterior baits around the home. So if I had just been a smart cookie and renewed the bond for, $150, $200, then I could have avoided like $1,000 of coming out to rebate the home and then renewing the bond from there.
You bring up a really, this is something we should do a whole thing. It's so hard when you buy a new home to know, is this a scam? Is this not a scam? This is one of the things that's not a scam. No. Now, it is a business practice they're doing to get you to pay them every year, but it's something that's very helpful to have. Mm-hmm. But we'll do something in the future about all the things, we have to tell people when you close. First of all, when you file that when you're getting a mortgage, I swear these people know, okay, they should be closing around that time. So you start getting all these emails saying, here's your payoff, here's your whatever, send it here. There's people trying to get your money left and right, so be careful. But the termite bond is not one of those things.
Correct.
Is my point.
And another one that we'll add to that, too, just because you mentioned it, we'll file this away, is you're going to get a copy of your deed once it's recorded.
Oh, good one.
Do not pay anyone any amount of money so that you can get the deed. It's coming to you anyway. So
it's a public record, yeah.
Exactly. So there's a lot of companies out there that send you a thing. Hey, if you'd like to,
For just $75, we'll send you a copy of your deed.
Yeah, you're good. Don't do that. Anyway, but yeah, so this really is an important thing, because again, it's I kind of say, and this is probably a bad example, it's kind of like when you have a baby and you go to the pediatrician and you get them, you keep them on the shots and the well baby checkups and all of those things. Your house is like that. You need to do that same type of maintenance and attention and well checks. And the termite bond is one of those well checks. They've given you the immunization when you buy the home, and then it's up to you to kind of make sure that that you do the well check and make sure it's still there. So anyway, so termite bonds, that is a good one. Keep in mind, termite bond is not a warranty differences, but this is super duper important. So go ahead and continue that. All right, let's see what else we've got here.
Rose has a question that you should find on there. And then a couple of people had suggestions about mouses and keyboards and pointers and those things. And we will take that under advisement. But Rose had a question about pricing.
Was it a Q?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. my gosh, there's so many. Rose. Okay. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, all. How do you know if a resale home that is for sale in a community that still has new construction homes for sale is appropriately priced? You call a realtor. That's really a great question. So,
great question.
Rose, that is fan-freaking-tastic. That is a huge question. So, honestly, you have to, how do we say this? So the builder has usually a tremendous amount, I won't say a tremendous, but sometimes it's pretty decent incentive on their homes. So you will see something listed for sale by a builder, but when it closes either for less because they had a discount involved in it, or they got all their closing costs paid, or whatever the case is. So new construction is selling at one price. When you have a home in a community that you are selling that, and the community is still building and selling and thriving, you have to do two things. Number one, I really swear you really need to have a realtor do some of the digging for you, make sure they have a good understanding of that area and the community. But the second piece of it is that you need to be competitive with a builder, not comparable to them, is usually what I tell clients when we're trying to sell a property where the builder is still building it. You can't, and I've seen this over and over and over and over and over and over again. People are like, oh, so my house is 4 years old in this community. Look, they're selling my floor plan now for $800,000. So they just tack on at $800,000 thinking, well, now I'm comparable with the builder. No, there's so many different factors. That's why we have the knowledge that we do. That's why we have the support system. That's why we have Forrest doing the data analysis to kind of help really pull in these numbers from all different aspects. But in most cases, so it's really hard because you don't know who that listing agent is, right? If the listing agent knows what they're doing, it could be priced very well. It could be a great price, right? Or they could not know what they're doing and they just are just throwing out those numbers. The truth is, I think you need to get a realtor, a real estate professional to kind of assist you. And that's what we do for every single one of our clients, whether you're buying or selling. We do that home pulse. And, that way, if you're putting an offer in on a resale home, you're going to have confidence of knowing, what those comps are, what we would expect it to appraise at, because that's important too. Eric,
it's really hard.
It is hard. So that's not an easy question to answer, but it's a great question.
And it's hard for us that do this all the time. That it's very, very challenging, but we're pretty good at it.
But it's also a case by case basis, right? Because it's not a general rule of thumb. I mean, like I said, there could be a home that's priced in the community that's a fantastic price. Like they know what they're doing, they've priced it well. It's a competitive price. Or it could be that they're in La La Land and they don't know what they're doing and they're not familiar with the area. And I see that all the time too. So the key is you just have to trust the person that you've entrusted to help guide you through the process.
Hey, on that note.
Yeah?
So, sorry. Coming around.
Bring
it around town. Hey, what's the word? Because we have a surprise, secret word. Amy doesn't know the word. For what's the word? She's scared.
If you don't know me,
it's sort of on this note. But I picked a mystery word. So
what's the word? Where's the word?
It's on the very far right.
All right.
It looks like a Scrabble board. But
so I just have before this goes. I don't like quizzes. I don't like tests. Stop. I love Eric. I don't like to not know what's coming up. It is a huge anxiety issue for me, so I'm scared of this.
The audience is going to have fun with it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, now come on, Amy, tell me what's the word.
Oh.
I was like, you know what it is. Tudith. What does that word mean to you, Amy?
Oh, that's so funny. Tudith. Okay, not what you're thinking. Tudith. That sounds like that's not a good word to put up there. People are going to think it's something else. Tudith. So my grandmother said, he who tooteth not his own horn, get it not tooteth. And I don't know, maybe I'm remembering it differently, but in other words, yeah.
No, so you were saying call a realtor who knows what they're doing. And so Amy doesn't allow us to ever talk about anything. So I just wanted to throw out a couple of, I wanted to toot your horn for a second. So there's the top 50 agents in Orlando from Orlando Real Producers. You see Amy Kidwell's there. Also think it's funny, some of the names that aren't on that list that you might think would be on the list. We're not going to go into those. But my point is, you're doing really good. There are 25,000 realtors in Orlando, and you are in the top 50. And then my second thing, and I'll make this quick because I know you hate this.
I do.
So do you like my toot the horn guy? Right? How about that?
That's cute.
So Amy's the number one realtor in Disney's backyard, which is the area. It's 3 zip codes. It's the area north and west of Disney. That's what we call. And she's number 1 in 3, 4, 7, and 7. And I put who is number 32. I'm not going to talk about names, but I have fun with that one because there's somebody that spends lots of time saying that they're number 1 in this zip code, and they're number 32. And Amy's number 1. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you. Goodbye. Toot toot.
Okay. Sorry about that, everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. That's a good thing.
Anyway. All right. So questions. Make sure you put those questions in there. Meanwhile, did I finish all the brewing? I did, right? Yes, I did. Let's do wishes real fast because I want to make sure I get to wishes because I don't want to forget them. So we had, I didn't do wishes open. I should do wishes open.
Do wishes open, yeah.
I do wishes open. Okay, so wishes. So finally, Elizabeth and Steele closed on their home. So congratulations to them. It was a journey. Tony and Joe closed on their home. And Carly, we added you to the list, my dear friend. We were talking to her earlier about her and to her earlier this morning on wishes. So they are moving out of Florida, heading back to be closer to family so that they can all be together. They've got 2 little ones, and I think it's important to be surrounded by family too. So sad to see them go, but they're closing on their home that we listed for them here they were actually in Claremont. And then we also have my boo-boo, my Elizabeth. So this was her when they closed on the home finally on Thursday. I don't want to really get in too much as to how that process went because I am a little deflated, I think is probably a good word. I'm not mad. The home is beautiful. It was a really, really, really rough stretch to the finish line. And it was, and here's the thing. And I said this over and over and over to the person that did not really do a good job for us through the process and getting us to the end. I said, I am a really good builder, partner. I get it. I understand. I advise my clients. I tell them what to expect. And I knew a lot of these things. And if I feel this way, a person who's going to give you a lot more, grace with it than the average home buyer, if I'm this upset and it has affected me this much, that should tell you that there's a bigger problem. And I tell every single builder, whether it is the builder, whether it is the sales agent, whether it is the warranty rep, whether it is whomever, I tell them that I talk in stories. And those of you that have been with me as clients, that's true, right? And I talk to you all here in stories about real situations that have happened. And I share the good and I share the bad. And, unfortunately, this particular situation for me has changed the way I feel about one thing specifically, not about the builder. Still love the builder, still love the home, still love the community, still love everything about it. But there are multiple people involved in every transaction, and you really need to have a good, fluid team. And that's where I feel like there was a bit of a disconnect. So we'll talk about that one day later. But at any rate, so congratulations to Elizabeth. The home is beautiful. They've already painted a wall in there. They moved in 2 stools that they got from World Market, and they're actually heading back today. And
So
it was a nice little holiday weekend for them. They were able to at least enjoy it a little bit. So,
Elizabeth is watching now, and
Elizabeth is watching.
So we just love you, boo boo. Seriously, this is one of the best moments of our life was that you got your house. So
yeah, it was just. It's super awesome. We're just really excited to have them close by and to have such a great home. Couple things we got to fix. like the CO, carbon monoxide, and smoke detector that keeps going off even though we've changed batteries, but we'll fix it. Those are things that we expect, like, not that you expect, but can be common. So anyway, all right. So congratulations to everybody on wishes. We have a lot coming up this week too. We've got a couple more closings. And on that note, let's talk a little bit about the market, shall we? Let's do the market. Want to? Let's do the market. Yes, Eric? Yes. Yep. Okay. Okay, so don't forget, we've got the full market report where you see that at the bottom, heartandhomeorlando.com/market. You can download that every week. It changes if you are data crazy and you like to see the numbers and see kind of how things happen. Not a heck of a lot of a difference. Single family homes, steady increases. Townhomes is a slight decrease. Now, that's kind of, basically, I think what people need to understand with this, and by the way, this is in Disney's backyard with Bridgewater, Hickory Nut, Lakeside, Hamlin, Sidell, and the Ovation Villages here, that we're just not seeing crazy cuckoo increases, but we're also not seeing really steep declines either. It just kind of goes like this a little bit. We're just kind of leveling off a little bit. And again, remember the time of year that we're in, seeing a real reduction in foot traffic. So that's always frustrating for a seller who's trying to sell this time of year. But we do our best to get it out there. So there's this one. And then of course the Heart and Home Orlando market report. This is it. You can again download that anytime you want to. And that's got more information and data there.
The number one market report from a Horizon West based realtor in the world.
All right. Well, that's true. I need to go back to Furman where he said something about, I saw hurricane. It's quite remarkable that we're both experiencing the presence of hurricanes. In the Philippines, we've had 3 consecutive hurricanes within a matter of weeks. Wow.
Yeah, they get hit.
Oh my gosh. Are you guys doing okay? Like close to home? My goodness. Let me know. Now I'm going to worry. Give me more info. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy, crazy, crazy weather. Okay. A couple, a couple more questions. Furman, back to you. Is Florida susceptible to flooding? And if so, does it have any impact on the property values? So here's the funny thing. So when a home is like on the lake or on a pond, you usually pay a premium for those home sites because it's a prettier view. Some of those could mean that you're in a flood zone, but it really just depends on where you are. So when we say in Florida in general, yes, it's going to infect the property value for sure. People want to live on the water, right? They want to live on a lake, or they want to live, oceanfront, or they want to live on a pond. Not always, though, does that mean that just because you have water behind you or somewhere near you, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a flood zone. So the flood zone is what is going to be determined by FEMA. And that is going to, basically, that's the entity that's going to decide whether or not you're going to be required to have flood insurance on your property. So the desirability of backing up to water or conservation or a pond or, a lake or again, the ocean, or the Gulf, something like that, then the property value is definitely going to increase. But it doesn't necessarily always mean that you're going to have flood insurance. In Central Florida, again, the closer you get to the big bodies of water, it's going to be more commonplace that you have flood insurance. But that's a good question. Yay, excellent. Okay, so let me see. I was going to go back to these questions, see if anybody else had one. The guys due in last Thursday for that closing. Are they okay? And did the closing ever take place?
I think the generalized question there is, how did the hurricane affect, everything got pushed because of the last day of the month.
Yeah.
So everything shut down kind of on Wednesday. And then
Yeah, exactly. So well, Eric pretty much just answered that. So there's, Wednesday was really the day that people started to not be open for business. We did get, I had some clients, we kind of moved things earlier. I was surprised, but I had buyers. Well, I had the seller, but the buyers for that property wanted to close sooner before the hurricane hit. So they moved up their closing a couple of days, which was great for the sellers. I mean, again, nothing happened for the hurricane, but so things did have to get moved around. The main thing was that Thursday was insane because everything and anyone that I had in place for Wednesday got pushed to Thursday, but Thursday was already really full. So it was a little bit of a really busy Thursday, Friday, not just for us, but for anybody that was trying to close on a home or do walkthroughs or finals and things like that. But we all ended up getting through it, I think. I think we did. Okay. Any other questions here? Because I'm going to move on.
No, I think you're good.
Yep. So I'm going to do the flying. You guys asked for it, and backed by popular demand is Eric's version of flying, where we take you not at ground level like a Sunday drive, but a bird's eye view of some of the communities in the areas that we talk about. So enjoy this for 2 minutes? Ish. Minute? Something like that. Oh, here come the dogs again. So that was, I think those are really cool. And I kind of like that I'm not talking, like Eric asked earlier, he's like, do you want me to put a little spot in there so you can kind of like talk over it? And the reality is, I think you it's kind of nice just to be able to watch it and experience it, and we can talk about them afterwards. But I do like that bird's eye view of it. And you saw Heartwood Landing, which is a Dreamfinders community, which is in Claremont, and then it ended. Well, first of all, we started out with kind of like the Hamlin area. In fact, I think one of the first things was the Home State Brewing Company, where we did do. Rob had asked before, where we did the Coffee Time Live before, so that area, but then Heartwood Landing, which is a Dreamfinders community out in Claremont. And then the end of that was that connector road that is going to go from Sawgrass Bay Boulevard, that's going to connect all the way through to Fleming's, which is in front of Encore at Ovation in the Ovation Village. And then directly down the street from that is Disney. So you can see how much of that road already exists. It's just, what'd you say? Like, no ma'am. Like, would you say like 25 yards? Is that what you said? It's just a very small section that needs to be kind of connected.
Yeah, when you look right there, it's kind of frustrating because you see there's like 25 yards between where the cul-de-sac is at the end of Serenoa to the actual road. But they still have to widen Fleming's Road. And then really what Orange County is waiting on is they're waiting to widen Avalon Road all the way down to 192 and all the way up, because I think it's going to create some more traffic. But, Schofield is pretty much, it's just about open. So we'll go take a look at that soon. Mm-hmm. So that connector is going to be great for Serenoa and Sawgrass Bay. I don't think a lot of people are going to take it because they're going to have the other connectors by the time that one opens. But
yeah, I think so too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where's Penny barking?
Penny, what are you barking at?
Tail wagging.
What's she barking?
There's people walking back there.
See her? There she is. See her little tail wagging?
Hey, come here.
Anyway, okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, the other thing I was going to go over was, we already did the word of the day. We did. I was waiting on that. Okay, Eric, we have not gotten to this Zillow home.
Yeah.
I feel like we have. Eric says we haven't. So if it's a repeat, forgive us. I don't think we did. But here's our.
I left my camera up. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, so this one is in Bedford, Pennsylvania. 5 bedrooms. Wait, 5 bedrooms, 1 bath?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
There's
now.
There's lots
why.
of baths. There's lots of toilets.
Right. 5 bedrooms, 1 bath, 7,880 square feet, 279,990. Okay, so all right.
The surprise is coming.
Let's look at the pictures. Okay, all right.
Kitchen.
That's a tiny little kitchen.
Yeah.
It's an old kitchen. All right, the hardwood floors are probably beautiful. Like if you refinished them.
But then.
What the heck?
It's a jail.
Those are
Those
are jail cells. Well, there's a lot of toilets then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, that's it.
Wow. Rob has confirmed it is not a repeat. So it is wait, but it's so beautiful from the front.
Yeah, right.
So I'm confused. Was it a jail that they turned into a home?
Yeah, I think it was like the county magistrate's like sheriff's office kind of thing. You can see there in the back, like it's more of an office with some jail cells.
I was like, or was
but
it?
But $279,990. Come on.
I mean, the land alone, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't you think? Somebody look it up. Bedford, Pennsylvania. How much is the acreage for that particular property? How much was the land alone worth? Cool. All right. So there are just some crazy houses out there. But I wonder what you would do with it. I mean, it's a house, so it would be zoned residential, right?
I guess, yeah.
But jail cells? I mean, I hope you like your kids. That would be a very scary thing if you like.
Go to your room.
Clang, clang. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that was a fun one. Okay. Yeah, so Rob has confirmed it is not a repeat. We're happy to hear that. Okay, last check for questions, and then I have one more thing, and then I have got stuff I got to do today. I don't think we have any more. Oh, wait, Kim says, hi, Kim. Will the builder let you know when they start to break ground, or do we have to contact them?
Why do you ask, Kim?
I wonder why you're asking. So when you build from dirt, there seems to be this flurry of activity, right? You have to pick and you have to choose, and you have to decide, and you have to contract, and then all of this stuff has to happen in a very, very short amount of time. And this is when you're building from dirt. But once you do your contract and you choose your structural options, that's when everything is going to go to the county for the permits. It takes about 3 months in permitting alone, and nothing is happening during those 3 months because they can't do anything until they get the okay, the green light from the county to actually break ground on that. So once the permits come out and they are approved, that's when they're going to start to break ground. Now, sometimes right as that's getting a little bit closer, you can see that the builders are grading the land and they're starting to prep it. You know, sometimes they even start to, kind of stake things out a little bit. In most cases, you will have that pre-construction meeting. I always call that the introduction and confirmation meeting. Does not have to be done in person. That can be done over the phone or like Zoom nowadays. It's even better if you do it that way, just because you can share screens and you can see exactly what the builder is referencing. It was definitely harder to do that a while back when we were trying to do those over the phone. But yeah, so they will let you know. They're not going to let you know, hey, the permits came back necessarily. They might. But in most cases, they're just going to say it's time to schedule your pre-construction meeting. Now, there is a way for you to follow your permits and your inspections online. I almost hesitate to tell people because you can be way too into that and have way too many questions because it's not really helpful unless you just want to know. But if I have to find the one for Lake County, though, but it's called Fast Track in Orange County. So I'll find the one for Lake County if you can follow it there. Eric has breaking news, I think.
This just in, Amy. I'm on the other side of the counter, but I did travel last week out to Kim's house. But there's a little confusion. What the builder sent us for the lot number, that house is done. Like it's built. And so I was going to take a picture of it, and I'm like, they haven't broken ground. So Kim, I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna be back out this week because I gotta look it up because they sent us the wrong address. Because the address that I have for your house is a completed home. It's for sale. You can buy it if you want. But the other thing that you can look for is what are the other homes down that row? Because they tend to do them like kind of 3 at a time or whatever. So we'll keep you updated and we'll try to find out. But the breaking news for now is that I don't.
He
I
just
couldn't
wanted to
find
do
it.
breaking news. Okay, good gracious. All right, so Kim, we will definitely get on that. But I mean, you do generally hear something from someone, right? When they are ready. And there are some builders where when the permits come back from the county, they still have to do their own internal aspects. So it's not like the county's like, yep, you're good to go, start. Because some of the builders go, okay, we have our permits back. Now we start to do what we need to do on our back end, right? So, so I always tell people, in your brain, please allow for 3 months at least, for nothing really to be happening, for all of that excitement and activity in the beginning to kind of go a little, lackluster here for the next 3 months, and then once it starts to pick up, you'll definitely see a lot of activity kind of, on a, daily and weekly basis. And we'll certainly follow up on that with you too. But anyway, all right, one more thing, guys, and then we're out. I'm going to do what I'm watching because you're going to be shocked to know it's not the same one. Okay, so Eric and I just finished the last episode of Marvelous Miss Maisel. I'm so sad it's over. I think that's one of the reasons. I didn't realize that was going to be the last episode. So Eric and I have watched this, and when like the first couple seasons, we watched it like every night. We'd watch an episode or two. This last season, we've kind of we haven't haven't been as consistent with it. We would watch an episode. We did like 2 or 3 nights in a row, and then we kind of took a break. And I knew we were getting close to the end, and I think we were both kind of like, but we don't want it to be over. So when we were watching this episode, we actually really didn't know that it was the last one. And then it was like all of a sudden we're like, oh no, it was the last one. But it was great. It's if you have not watched it, you really do need to watch it. It is so funny. Yes.
Just the thing that we always say is they get the show business right. That's the thing I love about that show.
Yeah.
Is we have
the
a little
music
with a little
amazing.
bit of a show business background, but like they lean in when there's like burlesque numbers and things, and they go all out and like just the details of show business. Mm-hmm. I found it fascinating and interesting and cool.
Yeah. And the whole cast is amazing. So that was, that's a good one. So if you haven't watched it, it's worth the watch. Anyway, all right. Other than that, guys, I think I'm going to like zoom on out of here because I still have a very cold quarter of a bagel left over here that I probably should eat. Last double check for these questions. I do have an apology though for everyone. I do need to apologize. So we have had so much going on with the hurricane, and then with getting our son off to college, and so we haven't had a Sunday drive every single time. Some of you may have noticed that we didn't have one yesterday. I know you cried. I know it's going to be okay. We have more. We have lots more videos, lots more model homes coming up. We have lots more of the communities and information to kind of share. We just, honestly, it was too much going on, and we just didn't get a chance to get the Sunday drive done for you for this past week. But we're back at it, so don't worry. More coming. So other than that, guys, let me find my little button. Hold on. As always, please remember to stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you. We appreciate you so much for joining us every Monday morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. We love you guys. Please stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you, and happy house hunting. We'll see you next time. Bye.